Hello everyone! Before we return to our adapter testing marathon, let's take a quick break and review this cordless soldering iron. This product was sent to me by the company Fnirsi, but all of the opinions here are my own. Everything comes packed in this nice carrying case. And inside we have some iron tips, a screwdriver to remove the battery, and a cable to recharge the device. There's also an extra screw and the manuals. And on the separate compartment we have the iron and one extra tip. And the iron has a cover to protect the tip. This part right here is rubberized and the tip is made of metal. The rest of the body is also made of metal. We have 3 buttons, an LCD display, and on the other side there's this knob to quickly change the temperature. There's also a USB Type-C port for charging. And here's the screw to remove the battery. The battery model is an 18650 and the capacity has 2600 milliamps. You can power the soldering iron directly from the USB Type-C without needing a battery. So even when the battery dies, you can still keep using it. The cover attaches magnetically and it has a pretty strong grip. There's also a screw mount here, so you can screw it upside down. This way you can install it under a shelf or something, and whenever you want to use it, you just have to pull it. The iron uses a different kind of tip. This model is a C245, and it is way smaller and thinner than the T12 model. So in the end, this iron should be more indicated to precision work rather than regular everyday use. Here's the other tips that are included in the package. And unlike my previous one, this iron won't roll on the table. If you turn it on without a tip installed, it will sound an alarm. Now let's take a quick look at the menu settings. This here is the standby mode, and the iron will only start heating when you press OK. If you want to change the temperature, you can turn this knob, and it will change by 50 degrees. And if you want finer controls, you can change it by the arrow keys. When using, you can place it upright on the table, or place it sideways. If you leave it still for enough time, it will enter the sleep mode. During this time, it will lower the temperature to save energy. And when the other time finishes, it will stop heating entirely and enter the standby mode. If you pick it up during the sleep mode, it will wake up and start heating back again. And it heats up pretty quickly. It starts melting solder in about 10 seconds. This iron is just perfect for any precision work, like the pins on the USB Type-C port here. Now, if you want to solder bigger pads like these here, you'll have a lot of trouble. Since the tip of the iron is so thin, it doesn't have enough surface area to melt the pad quickly. And the result is this: you'll keep rubbing and trying to melt, and the iron only melts it partially. And even at 400 degrees, it's still hard to melt. So for those kind of pads, it's still better to use a bigger tip with a bigger area. Eventually it does melt the solder, so you can get the job done with this iron, but it will give you a lot more of work. But for precise work, this iron is excellent. We're gonna do once more that ZR button mod for the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, and compare it to the previous one that I did with the older iron. First, I secured the tip in place with super glue, and look just how easy it was to add solder to the pads. I added a bit too much of solder, and these blobs are too thick. Then later you can remove the excess a bit, and carefully nudge the solder to the side with the tip. This is a patience job, and you'll have to do it over and over until you see that a connection was made. And the final result is this. You can see how precise this iron is, especially when compared to the other pad that I made previously. It's a night and day difference. Before we go to the final thoughts, here's a quick look at the manual. And my final thoughts on the soldering iron is that it is pretty great. Everything about it is well thought, from the magnetic cover to the automatic sleep time, the replaceable batteries, which makes it super convenient by the way, and the overall construction quality is very good. And the only con of this soldering iron is that it's not suited for big solder pads and big contacts. So if you want to restore an older electronic like an old TV or an old console, you'll need an iron with a bigger tip to melt those larger pads. And that's it for today's video. I'll be leaving the links to this soldering iron in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.